Once the application launches, this is the homepage you would see. We will walk through each section separately. Now let's take a complex workflow running on the incident table and see how we can convert this to a flow in just a few clicks. First, we can view the entire workflow in a much simplified architecture. This will also show you the scripts. Script includes that are running with the workflow blocks. You can open each script section to see the exact function and utility. You would need this as the script logic needs to be added in the flow manually. Now let's see how the application analyzes the workflow and curates a prompt that you could use in the flow designer to generate the final flow. We provide two prompts. The prompt on the left side is generated by our AI model, and the prompt on the right side is generated using our proprietary codes embedded in the application files. Admins can compare which prompts would generate the flow accurately using the Run Comparison button. Selecting that prompt and clicking on Convert to Flow will automatically convert your workflow to a configurable flow in draft status. Once you click on Convert to Flow, the application passes the workflow architecture diagram that we just saw and prompt to Flow Designer. Remember, you need to have Now Assist for Creator enabled on the Flow Designer to leverage the Now Assist capabilities. Once the flow is generated, it would show up on the application dashboard. You can navigate to the flow directly from the application page. This flow will be in draft status and also have an AI tag, so that it's easier to identify which flows were generated using AI Engine. As a platform administrator or a product owner, you can now validate and verify the generated flow and make some changes and tweaks before you set it to active state. However, any scripts that were present in the workflow will have been reconfigured to work within flows manually. This same activity can be done for other tables such as change, problems, and request items. We have targeted the 4 major tables on the platform, which have got maximum workflows running on their respective records. Moving on to Analysis tab, it first gives you a workflow complexity score based on the workflow topology. It becomes easier for admin and product owners to select which workflow they want to convert first. We then have the risk score section, which identifies the risks associated with a workflow, such as subflow dependencies, and integrations which needs to be taken care of in order to have a functional flow. If there are subflows involved, make sure to have them converted to flows as well. For integration, make sure that relevant spokes are installed or connectivity is established. The governance dashboard gives you a holistic picture on how many workflows have been successfully converted and how many are still pending. It also shows you a confidence score, which indicates the extent of the flow performing the same task as the workflow. Finally, we have the bulk workflow analysis section, which is a premium feature of this application. We often have workflows which is similar in terms of architecture and also the tasks they perform. It becomes tedious to maintain each workflow individually. Bulk workflow analysis shows you which workflows are similar in terms of topology, complexity, and risk, and allows you to merge them into a single flow. It gives you a score which indicates the outcome of the final flow, and will it achieve the same functionality of the parent workflows. The higher the score, the better chances of having a flow which would perform the same functionality as the workflow. You can compare a max up to 3 workflows. However, it is advised to compare workflows that belong to the same table, and not from different tables. Through this demo, you can see how, when we select and compare different workflows, the score changes. The analysis gives you a detailed report on how the workflows differ from each other. To get optimum results, you should consider workflows with a consolidated score above 70% to be merged. Once you have selected the workflows that you want to merge, you can click on Generate Consolidated Flow Prompt, which would curate a prompt using our AI model, which you can use in the Workflow Studio to generate the final flow. In certain scenarios where you have two different tables, but they belong to the same extended or parent table, you can consider merging workflows from such tables into a single flow. Make sure that in such cases, the input variables are selected carefully. Also, in such flows, you might want to check the trigger conditions that are set. The trigger condition should be set on the parent table and not the child tables. The last tab that you see is the Token Consumption tab. You would receive 2,800,000 token that you can utilize till they are exhausted. Once a workflow has been converted, you cannot generate a flow from the same workflow. You need to go to the flow and manually make changes, and then activate the flow. Hope you enjoyed this quick demo video. If you have any questions or wish to reach out to us, please do mail us at the email address shown in the screen.